I wrong though? This is why the people at Costco thought we were gay. Okay, ready, pose.
What? Wait, this is the what did we think of Fourth Wing? So make it like questioning, like
I hate when Ashley tells me what to do.
what? You fucking posh hole. Is it gone? What happened to the call?
Damn, Ashley, those dogs. Look at those toes.
Ew. Reconnect. Eclipse, stay. No, you need to sleep. Like, I'm literally gonna throw you. Oops. There we go. Toes. You.
Gross. At least your toes are cute. Like you have like normal toes, like very even toes.
Oh, my toes are uneven, actually. Like, okay, so they're not uneven, but my little toe goes underneath my other toe because my shoes were so tight for so long that my toe, like, grew weird.
You should actually try to get that fixed because that could cause you bunions later on in your life. So please be careful.
Yeah. Yeah, I can send you a photo, be like, look at my toes.
No, I mean, I've seen your toes before, Ashley. You think that I've been around you this long and have not seen your fucking toes? That's crazy.
Look at her. Finally dead.
That's crazy.
I swear to God, this dog could have gone another 10 miles.
Probably, yeah. Well, I'm so glad that everything worked out. And, like,
it was so good.
The other dog
her dog
was chill.
You know how Crescent is an aggressive player?
Yeah.
Think that, but that dog plays with a 110-pound dog. So, like, even more so. Like, he plays a lot more rough than Crescent, so he kept, like, he did good, but he, like, hey, get out of my space. Like, I just don't want you in my space. But if he was, like, walking, he was fine. So she kept him on leash, and Eclipse was able to be off leash. And I mean, Eclipse did so good. They ran past her, and I was like, Eclipse, leave it. And she just sat down and stayed with me. I was like,
yeah.
Oh, and then Molly was like, what? How did you do that? I'm like, you think this dog would go more than 2 feet away from me?
It's true. That dog is obsessed.
Obsessed. And then we went to get lunch, and Eclipse got a pup cup for being the bestest. And she...
What a fucking loser.
I know. And
she's gonna get diarrhea.
She had diarrhea on the walk. It's okay. And so...
Okay.
And so, the only part where she was, in quotes, bad was when I walked away to go in line to get her a pup cup, and I walked away from her and left her with Molly, and she was just sitting there staring at me longingly. She's like, oh.
Horrible.
I know. That was the worst she did.
All right.
I'm really excited for this episode, actually.
I forgot to get a sign, honestly. I'm sorry.
Oh, fuck. So did I.
It's okay. It's fine.
Next episode.
Yeah, next time.
Yeah. Let me just pull up our notes to see if they actually load.
There's really, like, 4 notes on it.
Yeah, there's nothing. I remember that.
It literally says Dane touching, Brennan foreshadowing, chapter 18, V's dad's Venom book foreshadowing, like foreshadowing the Venom, and then it's the on reread versus first read impressions.
Yeah, we
and then spoilers.
Yeah, I'm excited for the spoiler section.
And then spoilers. So, you know.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull up the book, so if I'm like, I need to quote something.
Well, actually,
you're wrong. Again, it's not showing up. I hate it.
Again. Haha.
Again.
Again.
That's so annoying.
Do you hear that?
Boobs. Good job, Kaylee.
No.
Oh, are you doing the thing? Okay. Hi, Kaylee, I'm sending it to you.
Sending
Oh,
me
fuck,
what?
I can't do that. I have to send it to smileheart@yahoo.com.
Oh yeah, you have to send it to like an actual spam account that literally looks like it's trying to steal your information? Yeah. Like literally it sounds like a scam dental place. Am I wrong?
Yes. No. You are not. It's really funny. Also, do you like my forehead?
Yeah, I mean I see it all the time. It's just really red.
It is.
You're actually pretty, like, you're much more red today than you normally are. Did you get sunburned?
I guarantee. What? I don't know.
Do you not put sunscreen on?
We went so early, and it was shady.
I don't
like,
give
it was
a shit
all in
if
the
you.
shade.
Do you not put sunscreen on? Well, you know what, Ashley, you're gonna get fucking skin cancer because you're paler than the fucking moon. So Jesus Christ.
I know. I need to get sunscreen.
Better at that. You're literally gonna die of skin cancer.
I know.
Horrible.
I'm the worst.
Yeah, you are. Put some fucking sunscreen on.
I know.
Also, you will not regret it when you get older, because I regret not putting on more sunscreen. And look how nice my skin is.
Your skin is very nice.
Yeah, but look, it could have been nicer. It could have been nicer if I would have put some more fucking sunscreen on.
What is this? Disgusting.
Your hair?
Thanks, Kaylee. You're so kind.
You ready?
I don't think I gave myself all the notes.
We literally had like 3 notes. What do you mean?
Oh, I didn't. I didn't copy all the notes.
I was like, we literally had like 4 notes, Ashley. You don't. Come on.
I'm so
I
sorry.
thought you said you were ready.
I only gave myself the. God damn it! I copied the wrong one. So I had the spoilers and the non-spoilers, and I only sent myself the spoilers. Jesus. Why can't you
When
just
you're
connect?
Out here, I want you to help me set up my camera so I can use my back camera like you do to your computer.
That's smart.
To my computer.
Yes.
Because I was looking at the clips and I can see visibly a difference.
Yeah.
It's just like, it is what it is. Sorry, guys. Sorry, everybody that gets my shitty computer camera. I'm just poor.
How dare you?
And not technically savvy. Just old, okay? Fuck.
She's like, I have a old computer. You have an old computer.
I have an older computer than you do.
Yeah. I had to get a new one for school because my other one crashed.
Yeah.
Like, it was so bad. It crashed so bad. It would, even plugged in, if it was at 100%, it would die. And delete everything. I was like, I don't think I could use this anymore. This is about 10 years old. 13 years old.
What a loser.
I know. Are you ready?
Yep.
Okay. Ha ha.
Hey, Ashley, why did those people at Costco think we were gay?
Because you're a loser. Welcome to Cackling in the Void. Kaylee is broken.
Ashley is broken. And let's see if the void echoes back today. Welcome back, everybody. We're here discussing fourth wing. It is our debrief session. Woohoo! We finished our first book. That's very exciting.
We finished the book, and now we get to talk about what we thought of the book.
Exactly. We're doing this in a 2-part section. We'll let you guys know when the spoilers are happening. Right now, we're just going to do a debrief of the book and what we kind of thought about it and the comparison between our first read and our second read. And then we're going to have a big announcement in the middle saying that this is now spoilers. Kaylee's going to rant for like 10 hours.
Yes, so this is our new... This is how we're going to be doing our episodes from now on. Crescent, don't wake up, Eclipse. This is how we're going to be doing episodes from now on. The first half of it is going to be kind of like the review, spoiler-free of the episode or the chapters that we read in that portion, and how it, like, we noticed, like, bringing back from other chapters of the series, but there won't be any future spoiler series. Future series spoilers, and then about halfway through we'll cut it, and then that'll be the spoiler section. So that's how we're going to do all of Iron Flame, because we have been very much missing talking about some of these fan theories and how this connects to the greater scheme of the series, but we also want to continue talking about the books to people that haven't read it yet. So we do want to have that split down the middle, and every single time there will be a warning saying, hey, this is a spoiler section. If you haven't finished the book, stop here. If you care about spoilers. But we're very excited. We have been excited about this episode for a while. I'm very excited to hear Kaylee rant for, like she said, 10 hours.
I feel like I have been very tame through this process about certain things that I hate, and I'm ready to tell everybody what I hate and what I like.
Things that you love.
I love reading. And I actually really am enjoying this series, as much as there are going to be like certain things that I'm ready for.
At least it's not some other series that we've read that I believe we are gonna have some fun fan thoughts about. Stay tuned for that series.
Stay tuned.
Because everybody will be very entertained, I feel like, through that series. You ready to start this off, Kaylee?
I am. So now that we've finished the book, I think there was definitely things that we wanted to bring up, specifically about a lot of foreshadowing happening in the first book, just pertaining to the ending of the first book.
Yeah.
So
there was a good chunk of foreshadowing too. Like, rereading, I know that I heard a lot of fans say, wow, like, she's really good at foreshadowing her books. And I went in and I was like, oh, okay, like, not that I'm trying to be a hater, but I was like,
That's my job.
Exactly.
Rude.
That's why I can't take your role. You're the community hater. And that's why I was like, oh, okay, let me, I'm going in with there might be a little bit of foreshadowing, but there's probably just like one or two little hints. No, like there's a good chunk of foreshadowing. I was quite pleased by the amount of foreshadowing. I was like, oh, it was literally all right there. No wonder we were able to guess the ending.
Yeah. Ashley and I did talk about it in a previous episode that we were able to guess the ending of
almost verbatim too.
And yes, very close. Also, because I was so far behind Ashley, there was a lot of things that I called while I was reading it. I was like, they have to.
Yeah.
It has to happen, and if it doesn't, then I don't know what we're reading it for.
Exactly.
And I'm glad that all of the things that I thought were being foreshadowed was actually being foreshadowed. And I think the first thing that we want to talk about is probably one of the juicier things that people love to talk about. And that's bringing Ashley, my man's name, into this.
Dane Atos.
And
all of the touching.
Yeah, just the face touching happened from the beginning of the book. I think probably the first time that they get I don't want to say like quote unquote alone time, but when she's actually able to see him, I believe after the parapet, or did it even start when he saw her at the parapet?
Yeah. Well, before the parapet, he didn't see her. So I think it started after she crossed the parapet. He touches her face. Like, they're in the room and he scoops her face. Literally touches her face so many times.
So I guess the thing is do you think he was reading her mind? Even like the first time that he like touches her, like the first time, like after the parapet, do you think that he does?
I think he does. So I just looked it up to get confirmed. There are 33 times where he touches her face.
And how many chapters?
And I have all the page numbers up.
How many chapters in the book?
I can tell you the page numbers. I don't have the chapters. But page 30, 31, 32, 33, 38, 49, 69, 90, 92, 111, 113, 126, 137, 183, 184, 186, 191, 203, 215, 287, 350, and 365, plus kissing another on 365, plus more on, more pages. Jesus fuck.
Great, thank you for that. What I was meaning was that he touches her face 33 times, and the book only has 39 chapters.
That's including bonus chapters. I think it's 36 chapters. Or is it 39?
I don't know. Is 39? I thought it was 39 just in general.
Okay, maybe you're right. Maybe I dumb.
Because I thought...
It's 39. Good job, Kaylee.
Great.
But yes, it only is 39
See,
chapters.
Thank you. That is almost... I mean, first of all, that's more than half of the book. That's almost every single chapter. There's only... I don't know. Ashley, can you do math? Yeah, is there only 5 chapters? 6 chapters. Good job, Ashley. Good job.
Thank you.
There's only 6 chapters that either he's not in or he didn't touch her face. But I'm pretty sure there's only 6 chapters that he's not in, and that's why he didn't touch her face.
The only time that I can count that he was with her and didn't touch her face in an interaction was at Montserrat with Mira. I don't think he touches her face there.
I don't...
Because
he does it
she's
before.
Gone most of the time. I don't think they're not.
He does it before
like they're in the
they
same
leave,
room,
though.
but they're not together.
Before they leave to Montserrat, he does it.
Yes, but while they're there, he doesn't do it.
But he does it after.
Yeah.
So what? Only one chapter that he's actually present in that he didn't touch her face? Maybe?
Right.
I don't know. I think you should look at those other page numbers, because I'm sure. Just now I want to Google Montserrat Dane face touching.
I could do the research for you.
See, this is why Ashley's here. She's good at typing.
You could
and reading.
Obviously, you could do your own.
She's so good
thing,
at
but...
typing, and she's so good at reading because Kaylee cannot multitask. I'm only good at one or the other. Never both at the same time. It's pretty bad. But only when talking and writing, not anything else.
Okay, so page 2. Okay. 15. I'm looking at the chapter so I can see kind of roughly what page numbers they are. Okay. But yes, and I know he was doing it for protection. He's doing it to save her. He wanted her safe.
That is... You know, Ashley, one thing that you really are is a loyal queen, and I love that about you. But at a certain point, where do we draw the line between...
He does not touch her face at Montserrat.
I'm shocked, actually, but good for him. So he did have some self-control in one chapter. That's
so
crazy.
Look at him. Like, he respected her boundaries. I mean, seriously. Like, what can't you love about this man?
A lot. Actually, we're going to wait for the other side, though. We're going to wait for the other side for me to be done ranting for a second.
But it is so there. And, like, the foreshadowing is, especially for that, so present. That's what it's like. Again, you could predict the entire climax to the end. If you knew what you were looking for and you were, like, really good at that, you could predict the entire thing. And I know that I have a lot of friends that, and, like, I know a lot of people that just aren't good at picking apart things like that, and that's just, they're just there to kind of enjoy the ride, and that's completely okay. And they just are there for the ride, and they don't pick up any of the foreshadowing, which is, again, completely fine. But if you're there and, like, that's just, like, what you like doing, you like depicting chapters and things like that, the foreshadowing is there. And that's why, like, again, we were able to predict the ending by, halfway through the book?
Yeah.
Because I also predicted it, but I didn't have anybody to tell about it.
Ha ha. Also, it was payback. Ashley was really far behind on reading a lot of books, and I finished a lot of books before Ashley was even close to finishing them.
It's true.
And this was the first book that she ever experienced that with, and
I will never do that to her again. That was absolutely terrible.
Thank you. I appreciate
it. You're like, right? I literally saw you about to go, right?
Thank you.
It is
I
bad.
appreciate it. Also, if we think about it, if we think about it, Dane tells her how he uses his power.
Mm-hmm.
In one of the first chapters, actually.
Yeah. It was like one of their first times they're together. It's like when they're in the room and he's like making sure she's okay, wrapping up her knee and stuff.
That's right, because he cannot resist taking her to his bedroom.
Nope.
Even though they're just cousins.
Oh my gosh. I was like, what do you mean? That is so funny.
But
I really love how they're like...
I was like, he just wants to be in Alabama. It's okay. They were raised in Alabama, so in his mind, it's fine.
Yes, obviously.
I'm so sorry. I apologize. For everybody who lives in Alabama, I know it is a horrible stereotype perpetuated by bad things, but that's it. That's all I have to say. I apologize.
And another thing that was foreshadowed that we picked up on this time around was Brennan. He was foreshadowed. Not as much as the face touching, but he was foreshadowed a couple times where I was like, oh, they're talking about Brennan.
Yes, very much so. And it happens mostly dialogue between Xaden and the other people that have, like, the other marked ones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I know that on the mat, when Xaden says, oh, I know better poison masters. And then at the party, Brennan, goodness gracious. Violet and Liam are talking, and Violet is talking about Brennan, and Liam goes, oh yeah, that sounds like, and tapers off. Like, he doesn't fully say it, but he's, oh, that sounds like, and then kind of catches himself. And I'm like, wow. That was really blatant. Incredible.
Mm-hmm. I also think that for me, when I really picked up, even like the first read through that we did, when I had this idea that Brennan was going to come back, is the fact that his body was never recovered, and they have such a practice of burning bodies, burning items, burning everything that person was and had to move on. And the fact that only his things were burned and his body was never recovered, and they never mentioned what happened to his dragon either. So kind of really had
and I was
to
like, wow.
think about that.
Yeah. And
also, another thing that was really fun about Brennan showing up at the end the way that he did, in my mind, was that fun interaction where he does not wait. He does not care about anything. Like, that's such a doctor, even to be your brother, being like, it doesn't matter, they could be naked, but hello. I am
literally here. Yes, very much so. And he definitely plays that part well. Yes, and I was thinking about it earlier, and I have a couple theories that I'm excited to talk about in the spoiler section. So, if you can't tell, we have been holding back for the spoiler section. So we're very excited for that. It's going to be great.
Also, another thing of foreshadowing that we wanted to talk about was the venom, and about the foreshadowing goes back as early as chapter... I'm forgetting 18? The chapter. Oh, chapter 18, when she asks Yesenia for the book about the venom. And it's very interesting that they have a catalog of everything except for that.
It's very interesting. And so, and that doesn't just foreshadow Venom. It doesn't just foreshadow Venom, but it foreshadows how corrupt the government was as a whole. I feel like it shows that. We also see that when, they steal the map for the war games or whatever it was, and all of the teachers and all of the leaders kind of went, like, just in their face, oh shit.
Especially with the mapping and everything that's going on. It was very apparent. I also think that something that was more apparent about the venom and about how corrupt that the government is, or that they even wanted to hide something, was even foreshadowed through the note that Violet's dad left to her in the book, when he was like, you don't know the whole story, like folk tales and word of mouth stories are passed down by generation and generation. They hold some truth and some weight, as well as I think there's even a quote before we meet Yesenia, or right when we meet Yesenia, about how she's describing why she loves, like why she would have loved to be a scribe, and about how her dad always told her that scribes are the true rulers of everything, and about how they have the power to shape generations just by leaving one point of history out.
Mm-hmm. 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 Yes. Mm-hmm. 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 Yes. And I do. God, just I love the foreshadowing, and it is like it's so apparent, like, and especially like you said, like the beginning excerpts I feel like are so important. And I know for a fact the first time that I read through it, I was like, oh, these are like really interesting. But I was just taking in so much information from the chapters themselves. I was like, oh, it's like a little tiny thing. Like I wasn't paying attention to it. If it was something big, like one of the ones saying, oh, Fen Ryerson's last words was the "You're all cowards." Like I was like, ooh, like I really like that. But I didn't. The first time I did not appreciate them, as I remember saying, ooh, I really, really like these, but I didn't appreciate them and listen to them and take them in as much as I should have. And so that was a big thing for me on this reread. Just all those beginning excerpts, I was like, it's literally telling you the entire story. It's right there.
I love that. And I think even in our first read through, I was like, oh, did you, like, that beginning excerpt was so interesting. Like, did you pick that up? And there was like some points where you're like, oh yeah, like it was cool. And I was like,
you're like, no, Ashley, pay attention. Read it.
But like, did you read it? I loved that portion. Also, did we want to talk about any fan theories of this book now that like we're here and that we're done? I'm pretty sure we talked about all of them, but I'm just trying to remember if there was anything that you specifically said you wanted to wait on.
I know there's some that I want for the spoiler section. I'm trying to think if I have any that I have for like this book without spoilers moving forward. Do you have any?
No, I know all of mine are spoilers. That's why I wanted to
that's
give
hard because
you.
there's so many that are spoilers that are rooted from the first book that transfer into the second book.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep,
How did you feel overall now that you reread the story? Yes, we loved the foreshadowing. Yes, we loved all the attention to detail. But now from your first to second read, do you have more of an appreciation, would you say, for the series, or?
I'd say I do. Like you said, especially for like the attention to detail and everything like that. I definitely have a more appreciation for the series. I know I've said it as we were reading it the first time and throughout this. I love the side characters and I love the dynamic between the characters. I think it's written very, very, very well. And the second time through, it helped me really like pay attention to the side characters a bit more. Like I picked up a little bit more things about Liam, so the death was a bit more sad this time around. I know. The death was a bit more sad this time around because I was paying attention to him a bit more because I knew what was going to happen. So I was like, ooh, let me like take in all of this information about him that I haven't really been taking in the first time around. And there's just so much, like, I knew he did the whittling and stuff like that, but just him doing it everywhere and just, oh, like, there's little wood chips everywhere I go now. And then just, oh, like, the wood chips are gone. I'm like, stop it. That's so sad. And, like, so things like that. And it was really nice being able to, because I knew what happened, I really liked kind of just letting it wash over me in a different way of like, oh, you know what's going to happen. Let's pick up on every little thing now instead of just the big things that you're trying to comprehend in your brain. So I always really like rereading series like that, but I still really appreciate this series and this book series. I think it's just so fun and it's well written. And again, the narrator did such a good job.
I would agree. The narrator did amazing. I also think that the writing in it is just still entertaining. I know that there are some fantasy books that are entertaining to a certain extent, but I could never really see myself like necessarily rereading or saying that it's a series that I openly want to reread. And
You're
so
not head
the
over
fact,
heels for those books?
no, I would say that this series is definitely entertaining to the point where I think that it's still a fun, casual read. Yet to be seen if I love or hate the series. As Ashley knows, I wait and hold all of my really like overarching opinions about a series until it's actually fully done. I will never
I
tell
try to do
anybody
the
like,
same thing.
yes, it just comes up more as like we speak because I know I talk to you the most about it, which is why I'm like, to you, I do this. And it's hard for me to say if I love the series or if I hate the series because it hasn't ended yet. But I have been really enjoying the series, and I enjoyed the reread because I did pick up a lot of foreshadowing, but I think I picked up a lot more foreshadowing. Like the foreshadow was almost being foreshadowed
Yes, I
from the
agree.
beginning of the book, and I think that to me is really nice. The attention to detail. I've just really loved this. Like the overall reread has been still quite enjoyable. There are things where I can feel myself getting into trouble with the rereads because my opinions about certain characters are definitely more rigid.
Have you come
I
over
don't
to
know.
the Dane side? It is a bit controversial.
Oh no. No, not for me, girly pop. If I have to choose between Dane and Xaden, I'm going to choose Xaden. I'm going to choose Xaden if I have to choose between the two of them.
Yes.
I'm going to choose Xaden. So, I also just think Xaden's cool, okay? Xaden's cool. He's a dark, shadowy dude, and I love emo guys. It's a big thing.
Valid.
I do. I love me a good, like, shadow, emo, like, very, like, don't look at me, like, emotional guy. Yeah, I mean, I love, like, shadow, emo-y, like, girls, too, but, like, also just, like, when I say, like, he's just, like, a little guy.
Yeah.
Just a little guy can also mean that you're a guy or a girl.
That's
and
true.
everything in
I agree.
between. It's just a little guy.
Just a little guy.
Just a little guy. With these big old feelings. He's just a little guy with some big feelings, okay?
But I'm glad that you enjoyed this, like, the reread. And it's, for me, you can tell that Rebecca Yarros likes writing this series. Like, she just puts so much into it, and you could tell that she's very passionate about this series. And for it being her first fantasy series, not bad. And just her, like, putting her all into it. And you could see that also with just in interviews how she talks about this series and these characters and how much she, like, on Instagram, she posts about it a lot. And I know that when writing Iron Flame, she was on a 9-month time crunch. And that really, drained her. Understandably so. I don't blame her. And so Onyx Storm was a bit harder for her to like, right? But even then, like, all of the promotional things she does and all of the interviews, you could just tell she's so passionate about this series. And even though, because right now, as we are filming this and everything like that, we are waiting for book 4. And she is writing a contemporary book right now. So we have a little bit. But, which is completely fine. I want her to take her time. Like, take all the time you need. Please.
I'm expecting
you don't need the book right now.
For, like, end of, maybe, if we're lucky, end of 2026. But honestly, I think it's going to be mid to end of 2027.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to be really honest about this timeline. I am thinking that early 2027. If we're lucky, end 2026. But I would prefer her to take her time.
I'd also prefer her to take her time. Both for we get a better book, and 2, take care of your mental health. Like, if you're having panic attacks when you're sitting down to go work on your laptop, you need to stop. Take a breath. And so I'm really happy she's taking the entire summer off. And I'm like, good. That's what you need to do. Take a break. Spend time with your family. And so, at least for me, I know that enjoying Iron Flame was kind of like a controversial thing, because I'll get into that into spoilers. That's okay. It was controversial to like Iron Flame. But I actually enjoyed how she wrote Iron Flame. And, but, sorry. I broke Kaylee, it's okay. And so, my point being, as we're waiting for, like, book 4, she's still, like, on Instagram and on her socials and stuff, she still talks about this series and these characters, and you can just tell she has such a passion for them, and that passion really does come through in her writing. And I really, really appreciate that. I love authors that you can tell they love the book they're reading or writing, and they want to tell the story, and they're not just doing it to get another book out.
I would absolutely agree. I love that she takes her time, and I like that she does more of the interviews only because Ashley sends them all to me. I don't ever have to seek them out. They just come to me.
You're welcome.
I like to hear her hype up her fandom. I think that's something that she's done a really good job of
she's done
keeping
so
us
good.
engaged. Like, keeping us so engaged and still talking about this book. And technically, this first book has been out for a couple of years now. And actually,
it came out on April 5th, 2023. So yes, a couple years.
Good for me.
Good job.
I know, right?
So I'm glad, and especially if it came out April 5th, that was 3 books in like 3 years. That's a lot. 3.5, 2.5 years. That's a lot. So I'm happy that she's taking a break and breathe. So I'm really, really happy she's doing that. So then, we'll get an even better book 4.
Are we ready to start the spoilers? I'm so sorry.
I was gonna say, do you have anything else you want to say for non-spoilers? You're so ready.
I'm so sorry, guys. I know that, like, our non-spoiler side was so much shorter than we normally talk without spoilers, but because it's the end of the book, I am ready. I'm ready to yell. I'm sorry, guys. I'm ready for it. I keep knocking my table, too, so when you guys watch the YouTube videos, if you just keep seeing me go up and down, it's because I'm getting so excited.
Yes, and also, if you see my camera move, my dog is sleeping on the floor and right in front of my camera stand. So, since we have nothing left to say in the spoilers, are we ready?
Say in the not spoilers, yes, we are ready to start the spoilers now.
Yes, thank you, Kaylee, for translating.
Cue fireworks right now. Spoilers.
Come on, fireworks. You did it last time. Yay! Okay, well, it doesn't want to do the fun fireworks this time. But Now we're
I'm
going
so
on
excited. Okay. I don't even care. Actually, I don't care. We're starting the spoilers. Ashley's trying to talk. Nobody cares what she has to say.
We're going on to the spoiler section. So if you have not read the entire series or if you haven't and you care about spoilers, here is where it ends. Right here. Now,
yes.
On to the spoilers.
Ashley, have you said your piece now? Are you good?
I feel better. Thank you.
Fantastic. I love that. Now, Ashley's not going to be talking for the rest of the podcast because here it is. But like she said, if you are concerned about spoilers, please leave now because I'm going to start talking now.
3, 2, 1, spoilers.
Okay, can we just talk about like the beginning excerpt of the book? Everybody needs to die.
Thank you.
Yesenia is the only one. She's the only one like transcribing the book, and these are all recovered like correspondence. So
yeah,
if this isn't a Shakespearean tragedy, I will.
I will also be upset.
Yeah.
Let me find it.
I will be so upset.
I will be so mad.
I've been holding so much things in because I just want to talk about this because there's specifically in like the beginning excerpts foreshadow more of the other books than anything else. I also
they do.
Cannot wait for Ashley to find her big old point and then us to be able to move on after we just slightly screamed about it. Yes, Ashley?
Okay, I am ready. So the beginning excerpt of the book, and I mean before the map, before the first page of the book, is the following text has been faithfully transcribed from Navarian into the modern language by Yesenia Nelwart, curator of the Scribe Quadrant at Basgiath War College. All events are true, and names have been preserved to honor the courage of those fallen. May their souls be commended to Malak. It has to be. It has to be a Shakespearean tragedy. And if it's not, I will be angry. And I know that everybody loves Aiden and Violet and they want them to have a happy ending, but they can have a happy ending with Malak.
I agree. Personally, I am gonna, since we're already like here and we're jumping in, I don't think that Violet should be with anybody. After rereading this first book, after I finished like reading Onyx Storm, I had a conversation with Ashley about it. I was like, damn. She was like, oh, like, do you like it? Like, how are you liking the series? Like, do you like it? And I was like, not gonna lie, I kind of hated everything. I didn't like, I liked the story, the book was great, but I was like,
you didn't like Violet and Xaden?
Definitely not. And it was definitely one of those things where I was like, have I not liked them from the beginning of the series? And actually, I don't. I didn't. I never have. And I think that because there's so many big points that even behind closed doors, Ashley and I have talked about because I have big feelings sometimes. And you guys have now listened to in the podcast about me thinking that they're both extremely immature and need to learn how to communicate and need to learn how to be their own person and stop trying to people please each other and stop trying to do things just because you think that person's gonna like it, because I think that they need to. I said this kind of analogy to Ashley because I can't think of like a normie couple to explain this with, but if people want them to be like Morticia and Gomez from the Addams Family, you have to think about it that Morticia and Gomez were their own people before they even became the Addams Family.
Yes, and I agree. And that's why
they were fully fledged, like fully like self-realized, actualized, been through experiences, traveled, did all of these things and became like their own actual person, and that they are secure in themselves and are unwilling to compromise on who they are for somebody else. And that's where I think that you do see how juvenile their relationship is.
I agree. And so, like Kaylee said, we want them to spend time apart so then they can grow as people. And so we both, and again, so the end of Onyx Storm is them apart. We don't know where Xaden is. We don't know anything like that. So we're hoping for book 4, they're all going to spend, like, they're going to spend the entire book apart. This is what we're hoping for. And then they're going to grow as their own people. Excuse me. Eclipse does not agree. No, baby.
I think that a lot of people would not agree with us either. So, you know, Eclipse is agreeing with the people.
Baby. Are you tired?
Eclipse agrees with the people. She's the people's dog now.
She is the people's dog. She is asleep.
But you were saying.
Yes, let me move the mic so you can hear me. Yeah, that is a mic. I'm going to put you right here. There you go. Yeah, you can sleep on me. It's okay. Okay. So, we really want them to spend the entire book apart. I know this is controversial. The entire book apart. And then we want them, they always end on a cliffhanger. So we want the cliffhanger to be, oh, and there he was standing in front of me. Xaden. End the book there. And then we wait to see them together.
There she was.
Or there she was. What if it's a Xaden point of view? There she is. Oh, it'll be so good.
Things that we thought about, but honestly, I think that through rereading this book, you really see how toxic both of them are from the very beginning.
I agree.
The idea of that she like falls so hard and so quickly. But also another fan theory that Ashley brought up in like the other episode, which really caught me off guard, was we need to talk about the shadow thing.
I kid you not. She has been thinking about this goddamn fan theory since I mentioned it, and she has mentioned it every single conversation we have had. And that is plenty, like, probably 5 to 10 conversations since I mentioned it to her. And I mean, they are like 2.5 hour long conversations. And she's just brought this up every single time. And I'm like, Kaylee, are you okay?
I'm not, because now I need to talk about it. I think that it's plausible.
You need to mention what theory it is.
Sorry. It's... Ashley, do you want to mention it? Do you want to say it? Because I don't...
Sure. So, in chapter 9... Nope. In some chapter, in the book, she... in the first
chapter
book...
8 or 7.
Yeah, something. And she mentioned... Or, she's in the tree hiding from the marked ones in the ground.
Well, she's
on the ground.
Tree.
Under the tree, grabbing poisons. And the shot, like... Then she confronts Xaden afterward. And the theory is
she's not technically
Xaden
hiding from the marked ones. That's not the reason why she's up in the tree. She's in the tree to get the poison. Yeah, and then they came.
Pay attention. That's what I said.
But you said that she's hiding from them. She's not like technically up there because she's only hiding from them.
No, but she's in there to get the thing, and then she ended up having to hide from them. And so then the theory was that Xaden... What?
I said thank you. I like that phrasing more.
Thank you. And so then she was in there, and the theory was that Xaden was hiding her in the shadows until after they left. And it really, Kaylee really went off. She was like, oh my gosh, I need to talk about this even more for about 10 hours.
Yeah, I feel like you left out part of the theories, like why people said that he was protecting her.
Like protecting her from the marked ones. Because he wanted her to hear.
Yes. Because he wanted her to hear. That is... Thank you. That is the only point from the theory that I needed from you.
Okay. So, let me say my part so that you can go off and contradict me. And so then, what I believe happened was he so she's in the tree, and then he knows he's there because, shadows and blah, blah, blah. So he knows she's there, so he hides her in the shadows. So then, because they're all talking about killing her. And as we know from Iron Flame, he has the, not contract, but like contract with her mother, saying that he can't kill her, he needs to protect Violet. And so
for 1 year.
For 1 year. And so then now we know that he couldn't kill her through, because of that, from Iron Flame. But I think that he hid her in the shadows, not because he wanted her to hear, but because he didn't want the marked ones to see and go kill her. Because it was, oh shit, she's seeing too much. We need to go kill her. It was, oh shit, oh fuck, she's here, I need to hide her and I'll talk to her after. He didn't want her to hear the conversation, she just happened to be there.
I think that's valid. I think that's more valid than people saying that he wanted her to hear, because I have a lot more to say about that, because that sounds outlandish. Because if the whole idea of him being like so secretive, and I'm not saying that it's outlandish for the idea of that the shadows were already there before she even got in the tree. At that point,
I don't think it was there, because they weren't walking there before she got in the tree. I think that they got darker and like hid in the shadows after, like, he saw her as he was kind of approaching and went, oh fuck, and hid her then. I don't think they were there the entire time.
Well, no,
because she got there first.
Yes, because she has to get in the tree somehow. Like, she can't just be like, oh no, people, tree. you know, she didn't do it like that. She was like, oh, let me go sneak out of my room to like get into this tree. And so she was already in the tree.
And so I believe that he didn't cover her in the shadows until after he realized she was there. But as they were like all approaching, he kind of went, whoop.
I don't know, because it's one of those things where in the tree, she was saying, like, when she exits, like, her room, that it's already, like, pretty dark. You know? That it's already dark, yeah. And then she climbs into the tree. Even before they come into the courtyard, like, underneath the tree, she said that it did get darker just because there's less moonlight, because of, like, the moon was behind clouds. And then I personally don't think that he even hit her. I'm going to say it. I don't think that he hit her. I think that it was that dark of a night, and that because the moon was covered by the clouds, that people that don't have good eyesight, whose, signets aren't honed and things like that, I don't think they would have noticed her, because she was pretty high up there. She wasn't just at, like, the bottom branch. She was, like, at one of the top upper branches to get this, like, to procure this poison. It seems like a pretty, like, dense tree anyway. So I don't even think that he hit her. And the only time that he showed her that he was, like, there and knew that she was there is at the very end, after everybody dispersed, and then he closed the shadows around her.
Because also, if her saying, like, oh, it's darker, if we're going this way, which I do believe, and that's how I took it when I read it the first time, I didn't think of, like, oh, he hit her. Like, I did not, that's not what I thought. He also it could have been darker, because, they're all kind of starting to leave their rooms, and he's kind of trying to hide the marked ones from leaving, like, oh, like, just kind of make it a little bit darker in the hallway. And then outside was already dark, and that's why they decided to meet.
I guess, but it's one of those things where it's unclear if he can shadow a place that he's not in. Because when they're in Montserrat, he openly says, "Oh, I could cover this entire base in shadows."
Mm-hmm.
But that's because he's there. We don't see
Yeah.
any other battle, or at least I don't remember in Iron Flame or in Onyx Storm, that he ever tried to shroud anybody in shadows to protect them and hide them if he wasn't there with them.
I agree. Yes, I agree.
So I don't know if he even, like, yes, the theory could be, oh, he wanted to, like, protect her, so because he was watching her, so he already had the, like, best guy is already shrouded in shadows, and it just so happened that there was also the time for the meeting of the Mark One, because he knew that she was going to be so understanding, or whatever people think that why they think that he wanted her to hear. Because
I don't think he wanted her to hear. I think he honestly wanted to keep her as far away from it as possible.
absolutely, I agree with that, because it seems it doesn't actually make sense. It doesn't make sense in the theory or the fandom or anything like that. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I agree.
But
I agree. I think he wanted to keep her as far away from this venom shit and everything like that as possible, and she just fumbled into it. And he was kind of going, because you can even see it in his point of view, so it was like, oh fuck, like, I didn't want this to happen. Like, she was just supposed to spend her time as Basgiath and kind of do her shit. This wasn't what I wanted to happen. And then, as he started getting closer, yes, he wanted to tell her, and yes, he wanted to, but that was once they started having a relationship. Before that, stay away. I don't want to mess with you. You don't want to mess with me. We'll just keep our distance. I'll make sure these ones don't kill you. That's it.
yeah.
And then, how that turned out. But I think that was his initial goal.
I could agree with that. I like that more than the fan theory.
Thank you. And the next one that I'm actually really ecstatic to talk about is a theory that we have for the end of Onyx Storm. But before we get into that, I do think another foreshadowing element in book 1 that we couldn't mention yet was Jack's a fucking venom, and it was in literally the chapter multiple times.
Yeah.
It was right there. It literally describes it.
It was right there, and it's so interesting how she just, like, really glosses over it, but I think it's because she mentions his eyes multiple times before they even turn red. Like, before, like, he even, like, channeled everything. So I liked that it was done like that, because when it comes up in Iron Flame, didn't realize that that's where we were fucking going.
Yeah. And it's also, let me find it. Hold on. But
just
also
because I was like, oh, how interesting.
Right? And like, yes, she glosses over, like, she does gloss over it, but also she literally just plainly basically says it without saying it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she literally,
but at that point, Violet doesn't know about the venom, and at that point the venom is even foreshadowed within Jack's eyes, that those things exist. And that wasn't even, like, necessarily something that we could talk about in the not spoiler section, because it's a spoiler.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, well, I mean, it's more of it's a huge spoiler for our next book coming up.
Oh, absolutely. Okay.
So I think, like, that was really interesting. Also, she does draw a lot of attention to a lot of other people's eyes too, which is why it was so easy to gloss over it. Like, a very small, minute detail to, like, gloss over it with.
Okay, I found the chapter. But yes, and it was just like reading it because I had heard through, the fandom and stuff like that, that he, like, it just says it, but I hadn't reread it at that point. And so rereading it, I was like, oh my god, like, it literally, like, I was just baffled by how it was worded. Let's see. No, it's a collar. It's a collar. Let's see. No, that's not it. Oh, here it is. I was in the wrong chapter. I thought that was late. I'm gonna find this. I'm gonna do it. I believe in myself. You're fine. Go to sleep. Doorway. Oh, here we go. Tap out. Here we go. Okay.
Are you sure? Because you said that like 6 times.
I know, but I actually found it.
Okay.
So they're on the mat, and she's like, oh wow, like all of a sudden this power is going through me. And she's being shaken by an external force that she doesn't understand, like he's forcing his own power into her body. And then his sadistic grin and the red rim around his eyes are all I could see before he pushes more and more power into my body. And his hands are occupied, but he's too obsessed with his victory to hear that I've stopped screaming.
Can you read that last line again?
His hands are occupied, and he's too obsessed with his victory to hear that I've stopped screaming. Because his hands are on the floor.
Are they on the floor or are they on her? Because
I don't know, but
when she said that, I honestly thought that he was still like around her throat.
That's what I thought. But they literally say, and a red rim around his eyes. It's right there. It is so blatant. It's right there.
I want to know where his hands are. Because now I'm like, that could go into like other fan theories for book 3 and 4. Specifically where his hands are at.
I agree. But I thought it was just, like, rereading that was wild to me. Because, again, I knew that it was foreshadowed. Kind of like the Dane hands. I knew that it was foreshadowed. But I didn't realize it was like, oh, you just blatantly is right there. Wow.
Also, I think, like, the foreshadowing of Liam's death was very telling. I also just think that it's sad that we get to see in Xaden's chapters, like, we get to see how much he really does value Liam a lot more than was let on, as well as we get to see that in Montserrat, everybody has, like, these, like, little, like, mini figures of, like, for, like, their battles and stuff, about how, like, Liam was probably gonna be the mini figure guy for for them. But
and also, like, the line when it was, oh, Liam's gonna love getting all your letters about me. Like, when they're crossing the parapet again, just because he was like, oh, I'm gonna make sure Liam stays on top, like, keeps you in check. And he's like, oh, just... And, he's like, oh, you're not gonna be there, sir. It's like, again, the little foreshadowing. I was just like, wow, that is sad. You little wiggle worm.
Actually, you know what? I heard another theory about specifically Liam and his, like, wooden carvings that has to do a little bit more with, we see it happen in, the next book in Iron Flame, but we don't really see it in Onyx Storm as much, but supposedly people really think that it's going to come back in book 4, is that a lot of people think that one of the reasons why Liam came to Violet in like the underground thing was because he carved a rune on the wooden dragons, and that's how he's going to be able to connect with not only her, but also how she's going to be able to connect with him and people who've passed on through her dream walking state, which I think is a bullshit power. I'm going to say it now. I want everybody to know I think dream walking is a bullshit power. Period. End of the story. But I was like, oh, that type of theory is interesting. That is interesting. Liam is going to be her more of like the, you know, they didn't really like exactly say it like that, but this is how I'm taking it, is that Liam is going to be able to connect her to like the spiritual realm and be her spiritual guide, so that Liam is going to, in a sense, come back in a way.
I'd kind of be upset about it, but also it'd be interesting. That is I actually have not heard that theory about the dreamwalking thing.
Okay, so the theory really just ends at, did Liam, that he was only going to come back for Iron Flame, and that's the only reason why she was able to see his spirit, is because he carved a rune into her thing. But as I'm connecting it, I do think that he gave a rune piece to every single one of the marked ones that he was close with, and Violet, and everybody else in the Oration Squad. So if they wanted, like, if that's the theory that we're going to go with, and this is like ending part of the theory for me, because the only way I can actually find this to be cool, because I think dreamwalking is a lame bullshit power. And I do think that it's going to be lame if Liam comes back and becomes her spiritual guide, but whatever, they feel like they need it.
But also, I will say, Rebecca Yarros has said
she likes to keep characters dead.
Yeah.
She loves to
keep
keep
characters... I did kind of like his appearance in Iron Flame, just her... But she was also so, like, like, she was on so many drugs and all these things, and I know that there is a theory, it's like, oh, like, she was so close to death. Like, you know, it makes sense, and like she was so close to death. She was hallucinating, and so I like it in that sense. Like that, I enjoyed his appearance in that chapters or however long it was. But I do not hope he comes back. I don't want him.
Oh no,
he is dead.
I was like, the only way how I could feel like they could tie the fandom could tie it in was if he did it for everybody, and that was the only way that, like, because they really do think that he's gonna come back and make another appearance, and I'm like, no, I don't think that he should.
Dead is dead.
But, you know, I mean, you never know. Yeah. Brendan's not dead.
Which brings me... So sorry. I am so sorry to everybody. That was so loud. Which brings me to my next theory, which I have an interesting point to add on to our theory. Okay, so our theory is that Brennan is the new brother. Okay, we need to talk about a lot of this after Onyx Storm, but it's okay.
Do we want to mention the, before you, like, mention what happens at the end of Onyx Storm, I would want to mention that there is a beginning excerpt in this first book that specifically says, and the third sibling rose up to defeat the older two siblings. And I'm assuming that's where Ashley's track was going to go, just in a backwards mindset.
Yes, it was.
I know.
Thanks for knowing
love you. Me. But I do want to bring it up now before she gets ranting, and then everybody, and that way everybody's on the same page.
Yes. But it was the third brother who commanded the sky to surrender its greatest power that finally vanquished its jealous siblings at the great end and a terrible price. Jealous siblings at a great and terrible price.
I do think that foreshadows end of the book, and as we know that there are 3 siblings in the tale.
Yeah. And so I think Brennan is the third brother, but I did think of something that would not make him the third brother, but it would still fall on track with our theory. So, what if, Nolan? Nope, the Terrence previous writer.
Naolin?
Thank you. Yes, him. What
just think
if
of a horse.
Brennan's a men... Huh?
So just think of a horse and then Nolan, because it goes,
Nail.
Olin.
Dumb. I hate you. What if Brennan was there when Taryn and Naolin fell? Naolin's about to die. Brennan wanted to save him. He's a mender. Brennan wanted to save him. And he didn't have enough power. So he pulled and became Venom then, but did he save Naolin? We haven't seen him yet, but we also haven't seen a body. But even if he did, what if he didn't save him still? Even if he didn't save him, what if he became a Venom trying to save him? And then, that's why, I don't know why, but I've had this, weird feeling about Brennan this entire time. And so I'm like, what if he became a Venom trying to save Naolin? Because they were, really, really close friends, if not dating. And so then he was trying to save...
together.
Yeah, right, thank you.
No, it's I thought it was canon.
It's stated, isn't it?
I was like, no, actually, I'm pretty sure that they were together and that it was canon that they were dating.
Oh, yes, okay, so, he's trying to save his boyfriend, and so then he pulls from and becomes Venom trying to save him, but he couldn't.
That switch was so funny.
He became... Or he did save him. Naolin became Venom. Or something like that. And then... Yes. I thought of that. I guess I need to tell Kaylee!
If they are dating, and you did pull from the earth to save this person that you really loved, and they became a Venom, and you became a Venom, why would you not go be Venoms together? Why don't you guys... I do think... be happy together. That's why I don't think that Naolin is alive. I also think that if Naolin was alive, wouldn't Taryn feel it?
True. So I do think you're right. I do think he died, but I think Brennan could have become Venom trying to save him.
I also... Yes, because people have talked about, Brennan has a rune on his hands or something. And that's how it's sealed in, and kind of goes into, more of a theory that I think we should talk more about in Iron Flame, because Britt comes up more in that time. But Ashley's been saying that Brennan has been a Venom since this book, so I do think it's appropriate for her to bring it up now, because she is so passionate. I don't know what it is.
He hasn't done anything, but I just have this gut feeling something isn't right.
It's one of those things where it's he's not necessarily done anything quote unquote outwardly harmful, but he did fake his own death and hide himself, and kind of helped an entire rebellion bring down his whole family, and didn't care to get his younger siblings out, and kind of didn't really care, because Mir's been out of the quadrant for so long and has been fighting against the Griffins, didn't even care to say, hey, I want to try to maybe interact with my older sister, or maybe put out feelers to see how she was going to be. But the only reason why Violet is even meeting Brennan is because she was so badly poisoned, they didn't know what else to do. And Xaden is so smitten by her that he can't let her go. But also, it's like, at the end of the day, I think part of it was not only him being selfish of, I don't want Violet to die, but I do think that there was a part of it that was Sigale pushing for it. And here's why. Because I don't think that she wants to see Taryn relive that, because she knows what that was like.
And, you know, he openly admits, too, he's like, you're going to be my last rider. I can't survive that again. And I think she knows that. And
I think that she did it to protect Taryn. And yeah, we can say all this stuff about how, like, Xaden is this and that. And no, I think he's dumb. I think he's dumb, and I think he needs to separate himself as far away from this crazy person as he can. And
until she grows as a human.
Yes. But I also think, like, you know, she should be doing the same thing, because her sense of self is so juvenile. It's kind of like the same idea of, like, Ashley is for Dane and some people are for Xaden. And I think that a lot of people that are for Dane, we actually got a comment on our on one of our videos about
Shout
Ashley.
Out to you, you're great.
Fantastic, love it. Very well worded. Amazing.
Oh, it was so
reply.
well worded.
Good job. I just think that it comes down to the idea of, do you want somebody that's going to hold you still in place and put you in a box, and you're going to be this age forever and you can never mature or grow or do anything? Or are you going to be forged in fire because of the hell that somebody else put you through? Or are you going to choose your own light and your own fire to forge yourself and to push yourself forward? Which I hope we're going to see in this upcoming book. I hope we're going to see that, you know, after Onyx Storm. I hope that they really do that, because I also just am going to say it. I think that both men are toxic. I don't think
you don't like Dane.
No, I don't. I don't like Dane. Okay, I think we should all. I feel like I've stated it enough. I feel like I've stated it enough, Ashley. No, I don't.
He's just so protective, and he just wants to care for his best friend. Since childhood, his childhood best friend.
But I think that that's why. That's why I don't like him. Period. That's why. That is why. That right there. And I also think that in the end, even Xaden could become stifling for her. That's also why I'm like, they should not be together. Because you can see his own insecurities bleed into her throughout the entire series of the book. Wait until you read Onyx Storm, and you will know what I'm talking about. Because I have
so many opinions. Please stick around to Onyx Storm, and you will see Kaylee just go off. It'll be great. But I do like how Rebecca Yarros has called out the fandom, in the sense of, she has said, she's like, Xaden's doing everything Dane's done. Why are you excusing it for Xaden? Is it because he's hot and you don't think Dane is?
I mean, technically, if you break it down to brass tacks of, like, whether or not they are hot, Rebecca Yarros describes both of them as being extremely attractive. Like, technically, both of them are hot. It's just whether or not you like somebody that can talk smooth, or you like somebody that, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to. I was going to phrase it in a weird way, but it's okay.
What were you going to say?
It just depends on if you like a praise kink or if you're a daddy's girl. That's it.
That's really funny.
I'm sorry. But it is. It's true. It's like, you know, if you like a praise kink and learning new things and being told that you're doing good and that, like, you can grow and, like, you're expanding yourself, then you're going to be with Xaden, and if you're a daddy's girl that just wants to be told and what to do and be like, yeah, whatever you want, you're gonna be for Dane, and that's it. I
agree.
I don't know how else to say that, but that is what it is, and I think maybe the fandom needs to think about what they like a little bit more.
But like I said, I do like how Rebecca Yarros called it out. It's like, you can't excuse, like, he is toxic. He is being a dick. Like, look at what he's doing. He's just doing it in a different way.
Absolutely.
And I do like how she called that out. And so I am crossing my fingers for them to be a part all of book 4. At least the majority of it.
I want them to be a part all of book 4, but I think they're gonna have like 2 to 3 chapters at the end, just realistically.
Yeah.
I also loved all of the foreshadowing for book 2 and the way that it's gonna go. I'm not gonna lie, the moment that Liam died, I called Ashley and I was like, okay, so I'm so glad that I was right and that Liam died. And she was and Ashley was like, obviously already finished the book, knew like where it was going, and she was like, well, what do you think's gonna happen now that like Liam's gone? And I immediately was like, oh, I think her and Imogen are gonna now become friends, and there's gonna be like this weird like, we're friends but I still like don't love talking to you type of vibe happen. And we're gonna see like Imogen like highlighted a lot more in this upcoming book, which I'm excited for.
Yes, me too. I do. I love Imogen. And also,
I did want to talk.
Sorry. Really quick, tying back to the Brennan thing, and then tying back all the way to the Yesenia thing. Again, that beginning excerpt that I read, it was the third brother who commanded the sky to surrender its greatest power, who finally vanquished the jealous siblings at a great and terrible price. She's gonna die. She has to. What if that's how she dies?
Yes. Didn't know that was like the question about it. I didn't know that was.
No, I know that wasn't the question. I just needed to reinstate it, tying it back to the Yesenia thing. I'm good. Yeah, we can continue.
Also, another thing that I wanted to bring up specifically about Montserrat. Montserrat, do you want to talk about the kiss, or do you want to talk about Mira's part first?
Mira's part, it happens first.
Great. Mira specifically says to this man, you need to do 2 things for me to trust you. Get my sister away from this place right now and save her, and make sure that she's safe, and make sure that she keeps her seat. He fulfills both promises by the end of this book. And this is why, that's why when she goes into, like, the end of, like, I guess, like, what is it, like, midway through Iron Flame? Like, when she, like, meets them in Erasia and, like, finds out that Brennan's alive and all of this stuff. And I think that the only reason why she's willing to go along with it is because Xaden kept his promise.
Ooh. Yeah, I agree.
I
absolutely.
I was like, this chapter plays into the only reason why I think Mira is around. Like, yes, I do think that Mira is around for Violet, and she proves that time and time again by her actions and the way that she, like, specifically words things about, like, I need you to be safe. I need you to start thinking about us and all of these things. But
she's such a good big sister.
She is.
But I'm
just saying that I think that right there, this promise that was fulfilled in book 1 has a huge impact of why she is the way that she is towards Xaden in book 2 and even in book 3.
I agree. Oh, absolutely.
I just wanted to point it out. Since we're here. And then talking about the kiss once again.
Yes.
Because we have to talk about it Because, yes, I do agree that it is very manipulative for him to kiss her, but I don't think that it was just him trying to be manipulative. I think that it was also him thinking about the pact that he made with her mom. Also, in Montserrat, before that, Mira tries to tell Violet what is happening and why she thinks that Xaden should be upset and mad at their mom and hold a grudge against their mom. And Xaden stops Mira from doing that. Xaden openly is like, oh, she's not ready to hear that I made this, lack of a better term, literally a blood pact with this woman to keep her daughter safe. And she's not ready to hear why I have all of this stuff. And it kind of goes back to the idea of this is also right then and there was a huge toxic trait about him never, like, the lie by omission. If I just, like, keep it in long enough, like, I won't have to tell her in such an uncomfortable way.
That is something he definitely needs to work on.
Yes. And that's also why I'm like, I like that he's an emo boy and that he has feelings and all this stuff and that he, like, holds his feelings inside. But, once again, still just as toxic. Like, is just as toxic. Because I think that it's even more toxic to have all these feelings and opinions and not share them with your partner that you supposedly love and trust unconditionally.
I agree.
Like, that's just saying that by you not being able to tell her the truth and sit in a mildly uncomfortable situation shows that you don't actually trust her and that you don't actually love her the way that you think that you love her.
And this is why I'm Team Dane.
Dane also needs to work on his shit, because the reason why, like, you know what? I choose Dane and Xaden to be together. I want it.
They'd be a great couple.
But this is why
they balance each other out.
That Dane needs to work on himself, and why I don't even think that he deserves to be with Violet, because he also does the same thing. He hides things from her. He keeps everything inside and secret, and he only shows his cards when his hand is forced. And you see it with both of them, Dane and Xaden, that when their hands are forced, that's the only time they may show a single card. Not all of them, but a single. And that's where I think that it's why I'm like, I don't like either. I think I just think that people need to grow up a little bit. I also think that Violet needs to grow up, because sometimes she is so smart and sometimes she is so dumb. She's like a really smart person,
she's smart
but also
as her own
so
person. Like,
dumb.
And like, she's smart as her own character, but in the relationship, not as smart. You know, like, she's smart as her own character. Like, there's things that happen in, like, Onyx Storm and things like that where I'm like, wow, like, you are really smart. You know what you're doing.
Yeah, why don't you use that fucking brain more often?
Yeah. In the relationship,
where is it?
And that's why I'm hoping their book 4 is apart, so they can grow and kind of grow as their own people and kind of then come together and figure out what the fuck is going on.
Yeah.
Because they're going to have two different sides.
I know.
They're both going to get different types of information.
But also, here's the other thing. Well, I also think that everybody dies at the end, kind of tying back into Yesenia, and why I actually think that the rebellion wins. They win at the end, is because if Yesenia is, like, transcribing it as the head scribe of Bezgaeth, she ran away. She was part of the rebellion. So I 110%, I like Yesenia, and I'm going to stand on her character for a second and say that she did not run away from them. Like, she didn't run away from the Eurasian side. She didn't run away from the rebellion. I think that she sat there and dictated everything word for word as it should be,
Mm-hmm.
to rewrite the history that was taken from them.
Go off, Kaylee.
But also, this is why I do think that they win, is because how could they have that back if things weren't restored, if the rebellion didn't win? Because we know that the continent will, lack of a better term, commit genocide and just wipe out your entire family for even being associated. You could be third cousins and they just were like, nah, we're not cool with this. Everybody's dead. You and your spouse all dead. All of it. Erased.
I want to get even if it's a little short book, not a book, but I want to get a little excerpt, a longer excerpt, I should say, about that entire day. The day of it happening, because I know we get a lot more information about it later in the series, but I want to get a book, a longer, I say a chapter.
I was like, I just want one chapter from
the
size.
prequel. Oh, not the pre-chapter. What is that called?
The beginning
prologue.
Excerpt? Oh, prologue.
The prologue.
Yes,
I think
you want
the
a little
prologue or an epilogue that is just describing what happened that day. And then it's recovered recovered something from someone about someone.
Yeah, recovered correspondence.
I think it should
between
actually be
Xaden and Violet. And actually, I really think it should be Violet's mom saying it, because she was there.
I think it should be the end. If let's say she finds that, or someone finds it, and it's the last chapter of the book, and then and there she is, there he is. But that chapter, they're like, oh shit, this is what happened, and then it ends with and there he was, or there she is, and then the epilogue is the note.
I would like that. I'm down for that.
I'm glad. Thank you. I thought it was good.
I'm down for that. That's valid. I like that.
Because I just want to know what happened. I know that we have bits and pieces, but I want a play-by-play.
I honestly don't know if we need the play-by-play, but I would love to see a recovered correspondence between Violet's mom and Violet's dad about their decision to stay. Or their, maybe not so much of what happened and what Finn Ryerson said, but I want to see the moment that they decided, we got to step away. We can't do this. We know and what why, is right and why we have to do this like this.
Yes, I agree. And also, her dad and her mom, very clearly, you could tell they loved each other. The beginning excerpts between them, you could tell they loved each other. And I can't wait to get to those in Onyx Storm. But you could tell after there was that part. They still loved each other dearly. But there was that part. They clearly had differing opinions of the situation.
And I think I would be interested in seeing that. And as much as I would love to see Finn Ryerson more and get more of Xaden's, a little bit of Xaden's dad's side, so that Xaden could be a little bit more fulfilled and he doesn't have daddy and mommy issues, but he's gonna have both. It's fine. Okay. It's fine. He has both. But I would like to see that.
I agree. Yes. And we liked the book. If you can't tell, we are very excited to get into the later books.
Yes. I'm actually really excited to start Iron Flame again, because I can't wait to read it and prove Ashley fucking wrong.
They do not fuck until halfway through. They don't get back together until halfway through that book. I know, because it goes into part 2. And that's when they do.
But here's the thing, is the only reason why they didn't is not because they weren't near each other, or didn't that's because they didn't see each other.
No, she did. They see each other once a week, and she goes, "No, I don't want no."
No, I wanna reread it, because I think that it happens way sooner than Ashley says.
We shall see. I know they kiss earlier, but then she goes,
They do.
They do. I agree with that. They do. But she
does a lot of other things besides fucking him.
They do get back together halfway through the book.
They do.
But then it is the inner turmoil of, like, I want to go back with him, but he didn't, like, I can't trust him. But I want to go, like, it's the inner turmoil of that. For the first half.
I don't even think that it's the first half. I think it's the first quarter. I think it's 1/4 of the book.
Okay. Well, we'll see who wins.
I can't wait because actually, you should be more focused on Dane because Dane is throughout the whole book. Bitch.
That's true. I do actually like how the Dane thing is handled. I remember before Kaylee was there because she was finishing the first book. And I was like, Kaylee, you're really going to like how the Dane thing is handled.
I can't wait.
I know. Yeah. Wow, this has been a ride. And I'm so happy we're opening up the spoiler side.
Yes, and so, I mean, do you have any closing things to the spoiler side, or are we...
I mean, I think we covered everything.
So we are both very excited to start Onyx Flame. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Onyx Flame?
Sorry. Iron Flame. As you can tell, my brain is fried. Because I've been screaming so much, and I'm very excited to continue on with this series, but very excited to start our new formatting. Just, remembering that we're going to do one part, just kind of a review, spoiler free, and then the second part is going to be spoilers with some fan theories that are going to go to connect with the later book, as well as most likely this book as well, and even more foreshadowing that we probably didn't talk about in this episode that happened in this book that we just didn't realize until we reread it. So thank you guys so much for tuning in and, remembering our new formatting as we go forward. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit that follow button, do all this stuff, and tune in next time.
Yeah. And I guess we have one last question, which is, what did the void say to you?
Okay. If because I know she's going to cut it. I know she's going to cut it. And it's going to make me seem like I'm a crazy person. And I'm not. But if you guys saw what we cut, you'd understand. You would